WEFM is SVG.
Activated mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Welcome back, St. Vincent and the Grenadines to Activated Mornings this morning. The time is 8:05. But before we get back into Activated Mornings, we'd just like to remind members of the SVG PSU that they're scheduled to vote on Tuesday, the 23rd of April, and Wednesday, the 24th of April. Voting will take place at the various workplaces between the hours of 8:30 a.m. and 4 p.m. Election monitors will visit the ministries and departments along with statutory bodies throughout the day to facilitate the voting process. Retired members and other members who may be on leave can vote at the union's headquarters at Mackey's Hill, which is located at the Whitechapel Road. So back to Activated Mornings this morning. You're listening to Ariane. With me is Roleza, and we have a special guest this morning, and that is Rayanne McDowell joining us from CWSA this morning to address certain issues that persons may be having with their water here in SVG. So good morning, Ms. McDowell.
Good morning, Ari. Good morning, Roleza. Thank you for having me this morning.
Good morning, Miss Ray of Sunshine. And how are you?
I'm well. Better now that I'm hearing the rain outside.
Say that again?
Better now that I'm hearing the rain.
Oh, wow.
It's raining in
In
Kingston?
Kingston.
A bit, yes.
Kingston.
Okay. It's not raining here.
All right. So, Miss McDowell, good morning to you, and thank you for being a part of our program this morning. So, yes, SVG is experiencing, we officially in the category of a drought? Have we termed it that as yet, or nearing?
Not officially termed a drought, but we are experiencing drought conditions. Because we're still having rainfall, pockets of rainfall, but it's still very dry as well. But it's not officially termed as a drought. Just a real dry season.
All right. So this morning I was a little bit worried that I had to do the bucket challenge. Thankfully, at the time that I was getting ready to come in, the water returned. So let us know what exactly is happening, particularly with our reservoirs, our catchment areas. Let us know what areas are severely or have been severely affected, and explain to us the reasons for the rationing of the water so that persons can understand, and then we would take the conversation from there.
No problem. So to begin with, we developed a water management level system that helps ourselves and consumers gauge where the water levels are. So it's mimicked on the volcano zones. So at green, we have the normal stage, which means that your catchment is good, we have no potential risk. Then we go up to yellow, which means that your system is on advisory. That means that a potential risk is logged, but it's nothing to be concerned about yet, but you still should keep the eye on it. Then we upgrade to orange, and this is the watch. Now this is when rationing usually begins. That means that a threat has been identified on your system, and we're doing our best to ensure that persons have water at all times. But it's not always possible, so then we introduce rationing. So in the off hours, in off-peak hours, we take the water so that the systems can build up, so that in peak hours, you can get back your water. And then we go up to red, which is the most serious, the most dire, which is the warning. And that means that a risk is definitely in play. You have to now exercise your home storage levels. You need to stop all non-essential uses of water. And at that point, preferring. Because red is
All right. I told Ari we had to send him union to do the rain dance.
I'm fine. I'm surprised to hear you didn't have water. I'm fine.
Your water isn't rational?
No.
Oh, look into that, please, CWSA.
That is crazy.
Okay, so the majority of our systems are in green.
Okay.
But from yellow to orange, we have Majorca, John Hill, and Jennings. That's yellow. In orange, we have Dalloway, which would affect your Roleza. So that's Clare Valley. That's usually from Vermont up to some parts of California. And Dalloway is our biggest system, and it has the farthest reach. And sometimes when it gets bad like this, it's severely affected.
So Dalloway now is at advisory?
It's at watch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Dalloway is currently in the orange.
Okay.
So moving up to red, we have Montreal. Now, Montreal system feeds approximately 56 communities, and this one is the most serious. We have activated twice daily rationing for Montreal. The water goes off from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Sorry, yes, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. This is the Diamond Estate, as well as 25 other communities, and it goes off at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So we have twice daily rationing for the Montreal system. So if you're on the Montreal and Galway systems, we're asking you to stop all non-essential uses of water. Also, if your home may have any leaks, repair them because this helps with conservation. Also, if you're driving along the road, if you're in an area and you observe a leak, please call and contact the CWSA as soon as possible. We can be reached either on WhatsApp, we have 4940933, or we have our landlines, the main one, 456-2946 or 457-1445. So those are 3 contact numbers for you to reach out and let us know if you've seen a leak. And we know sometimes it may seem like we're not getting to them, but we do have a roster. We have notes of them. If you think we're not getting to them fast enough, just give us another call or send us a message on WhatsApp.
All right, it's interesting because when I was leaving this morning to head in, I was hearing a sound coming from right in front by me. And because I couldn't check it, so I asked my neighbor to check it because I had to prepare to come in. And he said he had reported it yesterday. So I sent another report this morning. So I appreciate what you're saying because I'm thinking that now is, I thought that it would have been something they would have addressed as quickly as possible, given the severity of the lack of water, the lack of rainfall. So, all right, I'll be a little bit more patient.
Yeah, not meaning to cut you off. There are also persons who are not sure what area they belong to. So although this might be a bit tedious, persons in the Montreal area, they include Richland Park, Mesopotamia, Yambou, Sayers, Mount Pleasant, Mespo section, Lacroix, Evesham, Vale, Collins, Riley, Acres, Calder, Victoria Village, Calder Ridge, Clare Morgan, Rivoli, Diamond Estate, Rubishi Prospect, Choppins, Maroon Hill, Lauders, Bronx Road, Chapman's, Stinking Tree. I don't even know where Stinking Tree. Diamond Village, Hopewell, Freeland, Glenside, Caruth, Dumbarton, Wiley Street, Correa, Evesham, Belmont, Bonhome, Chile, Carapan, Southwood, McCarthy, Enhams, Belvedere, Brighton, Rathamil, Harmony Hall, Greggs, Lomans, Winwood, Julie Gutter, Newgrounds, and Smith Valley.
Okay. All right. I'm happy that Ari mentioned that because one of the things that I've recognized is that most of us don't know where our water system actually comes from, right? Like I didn't even realize that water was going to be rationed as of last Friday until I turned on the pipe Friday night and realized there was no water coming through, So how are persons being notified of the rationing of water? How are persons to know what is happening within their particular areas?
Basically, that's a good question. If you subscribe to our Facebook page, that's where we post the bulk of our information, and we also rely on persons to share it on their different social media statuses. But mainly, we send it out on radio and on Facebook. So if you're not subscribed to our Facebook as yet, please do that. We also post the full water management level document, and that as well has the catchments and the areas that they feed. So if you're not okay as yet with your catchment, you can check it. So Montreal, it's a wide span, but currently the places that are affected for Montreal and Galway, I'll start with Montreal. We have Richland Park, as you said, Hopewell, Simon, Mesco, Glenside, Freeland, Caruth, Montague, Mount Pleasant, Correa, Collins, Evesham, Lacroix, Ginger Village, Belmont, Pomset, Chile, Top Victoria Village, Acres, Calderidge, Southwood, Enhams, Top Carapan, Glamorgan, and Diamond Estate. So those are the locations on the Montreal system that's currently being rationed. So if you're from any of these areas, you should already be aware that you're being rationed. But just in case you move into any of these areas temporarily, please know that you're being rationed. Also for Dalloway, we have Walker Peace, New Montrose, Cox Heath, which I only know got familiar with.
Okay.
Old Montrose, French's, Fountain, Belay, Lodge Village, Cyan Hill, Mallow Village, Roseau, Camden Park, Plan. Canewood, Maho, Sally Spring, Kingston Park, Mackey's Hill, Level Garden, Villa Fountain Road, Clare Valley for you, Roleza,
Mhm.
Router Bay, and Lower Kettles. So
Okay.
those are the affected areas right now.
That makes sense.
I will come get us for some water though. You just wait. All right. So Ms. McDowell, in terms of conservation methods, what would you advise for persons to do?
Now we've been doing conservation from a school level upwards, and we always start with when you brush your teeth, turn off the tap. We know we have this innate habit of leaving on the tap while you're brushing up your teeth. Same thing for when you're getting showered. You're bathing and the shower is on running. That is a number of gallons being wasted that you could be drinking when you're out of water. Also, don't use grey water. Now, grey water is water that has been lightly used before. So, for instance, when you're washing up, you can use that water to wet your plants rather than using water directly from the pipe, because that again is potable water. And you can have these creative ways of reusing water that can help you lower your water bill and conserve water as well, because water is not limitless. It's finite, and at some point we're going to run out. So conservation is useful for the dry season and overall, because you want to be a good water user. So we have reporting and fixing leaks when you can. And these are just a few of the ways that we ask persons to conserve water. These are the most important parts.
Should people be washing down their vehicles, talking to men particularly, washing down their vehicles during this time, like frequently?
Frequently, no. Even if you're in a green area, please limit the amount of times you wash your vehicle. If you're in a stressed area, red, orange, and yellow, please don't wash on your vehicle. Stress orange and red. Use buckets, that is true. Because if you have to wash down your car, not in the stressed areas. Green and yellow, if you have to wash down your car, please use a bucket. That helps you to use less water. But if you're in the orange and red, this is from washing your vehicle altogether. It's okay, it will look dirty, it's okay. You could wash it after. We already know your vehicle look good. It would look better if you get enough water to bathe and drink with in the morning. So non-essential use of water, we're asking persons to please help us out.
Okay. And what about instances when the water goes? Is it advisable, let's say for us to drink the water that's coming out of the pipe at this time? Should we probably allow the water to settle? Because you know that whenever we just turn back on the pipe, a lot of sediments comes out of it. What is generally advised? Should we be drinking maybe bottled water at this time? What do you advise or suggest?
So basically, once it's coming out of your tap, it's potable. So even if it may have sediments, it is drinkable. Boiling is a personal preference. You don't have to boil it because, as I said, once we're sending the water to you, it has been treated and disinfected. So boiling is a personal preference. That's really up to you. The sediments, you can let it settle, personal preference as well. Same with the bottled water. But we're saying from a CWSA standpoint, if it's coming out of your tap, it's safe to drink.
Yeah, but what if it's coming out of the tap brown?
Mm-hmm. Now that is something we recognize that happened recently with the heavy rainfall that we got over the weekend. We are aware that some areas from I think Clare Valley to Gibson Corner had brown water. Now the reason for this, we have a system called SCADA. It usually shuts down the system when brown water or turbid water gets in. But at the time when this rainfall happened, it wasn't able to shut off in time. So that's why muddy water got in. So I would say if the water is colored, then yes, don't drink it.
Okay.
But for the most part, it's just colored.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And any other tips that you want to leave with us at this time? Any other advisories?
I would say it's just a stress that government institutions and schools especially, we have noted some instances of high water consumption for these buildings. We're asking you, while you're there, please listen out for leaks. If you have a leak, contact BRAGSA, and we work along with BRAGSA to fix these things. At schools especially, when you're leaving for the day, it would be nice if you could check all the taps to ensure that they're closed properly and not running. If you notice that you have faulty fixtures or taps, like I said before, please contact BRAXA. We work with them. So government institutions and schools pay very special attention to your water usage. Regular persons, we're asking you, now is the time to activate your water, your personal home storage. Now we encourage persons to store water based on the size of your family. It's basically 3 gallons per person per day. And you don't have to have the big black tanks to say that you have water storage. It can start from the 5-gallon buckets, which can be purchased at either supermarkets or hardware stores, and it goes up to the blue drums that we get with the blue barrels. You get your goodies, Christmas or whenever, we're asking that you repurpose these drums as water storage. We have some tips coming up with that for do-it-yourself water storage, so we will be posting that at some point, just to show persons how they can convert these barrels to water storage things. So that's basically it.
But
Be careful when you use water and work on your personal water storage. You were saying, Ari?
I have a question. You were talking about conservation earlier. What about using a washing machine?
Oh, I have a story with that. I've been trying to wash for 2 days now. Water pressure is low.
I would say, dependent on your area again, the orange and reds, you may want to wash, but I don't think you may be able to get as much water to do a full load. If you have to wash, please make it a full load. If you don't have to, if it's non-essential clothes, don't.
So do you think it's so pure? Because
water.
yeah. So the thing of it is that so I've been trying to wash this load for about 2 days now, right? But is it better, do you think, to wash on hand? Because I'm wondering which method is better, which one actually conserves more water. To me, I think maybe washing on hand might be wasting a bit more water, but you could probably advise there.
Me personally, I think washing on hand uses less water.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah. A full load, I can't remember the quantity, but a full load of washing takes. But you definitely use less water, in my opinion, by washing on hand. So if you have to, if it's essential that you need it, wash it in a bucket on hand. Retire the washing machine so when we're back in a more stable standing with the water.
All right, ma'am.
All right, and for those listening, the water management alert system is posted on CWSA social media as well as their website. I'm reading from the website right now, and according to this update, it was last updated on April 12th, 2024. How often do you update the water management alert system?
Weekly, but we haven't updated it from Friday because it's the same.
Okay.
Nothing has changed. We're still rationing the same areas. You're still in the same standing. So we're hopeful by this Friday we have some better news to update it with.
Okay, so for those who are wondering if they're in the green area, that is Hermitage, that is Richmond to Barley, Layu and Bookament, Mamoon, Green Hill and Lago Height, Perseverance, Byra through Georgetown to Orange Hill, Sandy Bay, which is Sandy Bay, Cyan Hill, Overland, Big Level, and that is Cyan Hill, Sandy Bay, don't get confused. Owea, that's Owean Point, Fancy, well, that is Fancy, and those are the normal levels. The orange level is Dalloway, which is from Bookament to Kadekwa, and the mentioned communities that might have, well, that do have a water rationing schedule from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. is Walker Peace, New Montrose, Cox Heath, Otley Hall, Old Montrose, Lodge Village, Cyan Hill, Mala Village, Roseau, Frenches, Sally Spring, Kingston Park, Mackey's Hill, Level Garden, Villa Fountain Road. The yellow areas are Majorca and Jennings, which is a lot to call out, so not going to do that at this present moment, and we already discussed Montreal.
Yes, that's correct.
Someone asked if folks are no longer washing by the river.
That's personal preference. Some persons may say that the rivers are dirty, but it depends on your area. River water is pristine.
I think so as well.
And then you
Yeah.
have to look at those who are environmentalists who talk about putting the chemicals into the water using use of detergents, etc. So it's a preference here, I guess.
So I should wash my vehicle by a river. Got it.
Oh,
know
no, vehicle.
Oh, don't wash my vehicle. That is crazy.
Wipe the windscreen only. A practice I've been doing for a while.
That is crazy.
In weeks, and I'm in a green area.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much for updating us, Miss McDowell. It
Thank
was a pleasure having you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right.
Same to
Take
you.
care.